Hi, I'm Tiffany Howard, and this is Our Food Does Not Come From a Dog Bowl. What do I mean by that? I have a little Chihuahua, Chief Justice, and I would constantly, or I made it a habit of having his food bowl always full so that he wouldn't have to, whine or worry about food. But one day I was in a hurry and I hadn't filled his food bowl, and he started tapping on the food bowl, then looking in, waiting for the food to appear. And I realized that he thought his food came from the food bowl. Why? Because I had programmed him to believe that his food came from the food bowl by constantly having it full of food and he not having to ask for it. What does that have to do with you? What does that have to do with me? What does that have to do with all of us humans on this planet? We have all at some time believed that our food came from the food bowl. I used to believe that. I no longer believe that. What's the food bowl? Man, a corporation, a job, someone other than Spirit or God. Your food comes from God, Source, Spirit, a higher intelligence, whatever pointer you like to use. Your food does not come from a corporation, does not come from Walmart or Pepsi or Apple or Mr. Johnson down the street where you work. Your food, abundance, wealth, prosperity comes from Source. I'll share a little story with you. When I started on my spiritual journey, which began many years ago, but began in terms of me releasing things of the old that I didn't need, in order for me to prepare for the new, in order for me to prepare for teaching other people. That began November of last year, when I began my trek across from Texas to New Mexico and now to Arizona. I had to be remade. I had to release the old, my old face, my old job, which was a personal identity, my old car, apartment, houses, old clothes, old body. I got a new body. But I had to release all that and be made from the bottom up. And there were things I had to learn. And one of the things I had to learn is that my food did not come from a dog bowl. That man is not the source, substance, and supply of my abundance. That God, Spirit is. So back to my example. When I released my 2011 Audi, which was actually repossessed, and I'm so happy because that was a lot of pressure. And I was so happy when it was repossessed because I was free. I had to totally rely on Spirit because Spirit wanted me to leave Austin because Austin had become a burden on what Spirit had planned for me to do. So I had to release Austin and go on this journey on the road. Only being guided by Spirit, having all my needs met by Spirit. Because I didn't have any money, and I didn't have a vehicle. And I said, Spirit, you want me to go on this journey? My car has been repossessed. I need another car. And so happened, a day later, after I said that, an old client called me, because I was an attorney, and asked for some advice and asked if I could represent him. And I said, no, I can't represent you. I no longer practice law, and my license is suspended because I haven't paid my bar dues because I'm not an attorney anymore. Don't want to be. That's not my purpose. My purpose is a healer, is a teacher. So I said, tell me what happened, and I will just give you some advice. If you need an attorney to represent you in court, I will refer you to an attorney. So he gave me the facts of his case. I knew that the people who were claiming they were going to sue him actually didn't have a leg to stand on, and he was grateful. He wanted to offer me money. As I said, I couldn't take any money, right? I asked him, are you still towing cars? And he said, yes. I said, do you still have cars that people leave behind, don't come back and get? He said, yes. I said, I don't have a car right now. My car was repossessed. I need to go on this journey. And he said, okay, I'll pick you up. You come to my storage and see if you see a car you wanted. Well, I actually wanted a truck. I'd always wanted a truck. I thought they were sexy, and I wanted an old beat-up truck. And he picked me up, took me to his storage. There were different cars, Hondas and VWs and all this. And then he said, I have a truck that has been sitting for 2 to 3 years. And it was a 1993 Dodge. And I loved it. He said, I will sell it to you for $800. I didn't have $800. I had barely $50 in my pocket. He said, well, let me work on the truck and get it ready for you and get it inspected. I said, okay. I said, I'll take it for $800. So I said, Spirit, okay. Where is this $800 going to come from? I know it only comes from you. I give this over to you. You know what I need. So the day came, and my mom took me to his storage yard to pick up the truck. I didn't have the $800. He said I could make payments $200 a month. I didn't have $200. Still, nothing. My mom takes me to go get the truck, and along the way I'm like, Spirit, okay, I need you to come through, Spirit. I don't have $200 to put down on this truck. What are we going to do? I'll tell him my story, and maybe he'll have some compassion and just, cut me a break and let me pay him later. So we get there, and we're going in, filling out the paperwork. His secretary's there. She's asking me for the $200. I tell her I don't have the $200, and she's like, well, you can't get the truck. He's there. I go outside, and I pull him aside, and I'm like, I don't have the $200. And my mom calls me to the car, and she says, oh, Tyffany, guess what? And I was like, what? She says, I thought about it, and you going on this, if you're sure you want to go. I said, yes, I have to go. Spirit is telling me I'm guided to go here. And she says, well, I'm going to buy the truck for you. And I said, what? And she says, I'm going to buy the truck for you. She didn't know I didn't have the money. I didn't tell her I didn't have the money. I didn't want her to worry. And she said, yeah, tell Albert I'm going to pay for the truck for you. And I was in shock. I was getting a free truck that I didn't expect. I didn't know how Spirit was going to make this happen. And I get there, and at the last minute, my mother tells me that she's going to buy the truck for me. And she did. Spirit was the source of my abundance. Spirit through my mom, but Spirit nonetheless. Spirit works through other people. Spirit works through your employers. Spirit works through Mr. Johnson, who you work for. But it comes from Spirit. Spirit created all of this. Spirit is infinite. There is no lack in Spirit and in consciousness in God. God is the creator of everything. So you can only receive through God. God, Spirit, consciousness is within you. And if you remember that your awareness of God as your source is your source or supply or substance, then you don't have to worry or live in fear of having what you need. All your needs will be met. When you can do 3 things, all your needs will be met. You have to have faith, you have to trust, and you have to be grateful. Live in gratitude. Ask, and ye shall receive. Spirit knows what you need, but Spirit is waiting on you to let go of that false belief that Mr. Johnson is your source. You see, that's why you're suffering when it comes to abundance and wealth and prosperity, having your needs met. You believe that Mr. Johnson is your source, when God is your source. And if you have faith and trust and gratitude, you will receive what you need, because consciousness is limitless. Look around you. There is no lack in the world. There's only lack in your mind, in your programming. Our food does not come from a dog bowl. Our food, abundance, wealth, and prosperity comes from source, the source of it all. And that source is within you. And you have an all-providing mind that creates everything that you need once you stop being a slave to man and be a receiver of what God has for you. Thank you for your time. Namaste.